Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome back to the channel. And today we are carrying on with our AFK Plankerton Endurance series, and today's amplifier is going to be amplifier E. Now for me, this is the one which is directly to the west of your map, and it is this one just down here. Now for this, you are only going to get a spawn point from the west direction. They won't attack from any other direction at all. Now if you did follow this series, then you will know that this does all link into our defenses as well for amplifier D down here. But if you have missed any of the episodes, don't forget you can always check the link in the playlist. It will cover all of the different amplifiers that I have set. So for this one, of course, this is our amplifier. I've only got some basic builds up here, which is mainly for mini bosses and to sort of force them to come up along the top rather than destroying builds going along. But you don't tend to get too many smashers up on this one, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But I've left this amplifier till last because although this build, it does work perfectly fine. There are no problems with it at all in regards to husks. The only thing that is kind of annoying are the mini bosses. Now you are going to get a few mini boss waves which will attack this amplifier. Now quite often I will get attacked with mini bosses on wave 29 and always on wave 30 as well. I think it's 2 mini bosses I think on the wave 30, and unless they are trap vulnerable mini bosses, which generally they aren't, then they can be a bit of a nuisance. They can cause a lot of problems on it, because our spawn point for this one is going to be down here, along here. So they are going to head up this direction. Now there is, behind here, there is a natural ramp which we have completely blocked off, so we're trying to force them along this man-made ramp that we've made coming up the side of the mountain, which fetches them over this way a little bit more to enable us to get some more trap tunnels in there. So they're going to come through here. Now the mini bosses especially, they will come straight past all of these traps. They won't get hit at all. As for everything else, they will either get taken out by all of this here, or they will get launched over the side, and quite often all the way down to that bottom layer down there where they've got to walk all the way back around again. So they will get taken out. There's no problem with them. It is just the mini bosses. They will completely ignore everything. And behind here is another natural ramp, and they will, for some unknown reason, even though there's completely open here and they can just walk straight up, they will bash through these two walls. And when they do, if I just get up here, they will go through pretty much all of these defenses, and they will go through pretty much most of them. That's why I've got loads of little traps that I've set up here, just to sort of try and take them out before they even get to the amplifier. But when I have run this, which I do run quite often at the moment for materials and things, then I'll pop back and see us on wave 29 or 30, and pretty much all of this lot here will be completely destroyed, and yeah, the mini bosses will eventually die just at the very end after they've destroyed everything else. But yes, that is our builds. So as I said before, it does link in to what we built for the other amplifiers. So what we're going to do, we'll leave the roof till last, I think. We're going to get down here, and we're going to start at this point. So this is basically where the edge of the mountain will be. And so from there, you're going to place a wall tile, a blank wall tile in there. And then on the front of this, where the natural ramp is along these two sides, you're going to place 2 wall launchers. Now, for the rest of the section in there, we will cover in a second. Now, once you've placed those 2 wall launchers, on the left hand side of you here, you're going to place a sound wall. And then once you've done that, what you need to do is to come up behind these 2 wall launchers. And in here, we're going to have 2 edited floors, which will look like this. And then you are going to have 2 edited cones on top so that they will look like this. So one will be pointing to the southwest and the other will be pointing to the southeast. And then you're going to, that wall will be there anyway, but you will surround it all with walls all the way around. Now I have put in here a broadside on this one, and the other walls then we have put some wall darts, because again later on in later waves they can try to sort of either force their way through these walls, or some of the propane tanks may blow up and it may destroy certain bits, so they may start heading up this natural ramp up here. So we've got all these traps in just to take them out. Now behind here, now I can't actually get to it, but we have 2 walls, and on the walls, did I say? We have 2 floors, and on the very tops of those we have put in some traps, which we have put in some ceiling electric fields on the top of these, and the walls behind here as well, they will be blocked off with a wall that side and a wall that side. They are going to have these wall darts on them as well, so don't forget to add those in, otherwise you will get problems later on. Now on top of these 2 floor pieces then we have the same edited cones like this, just exactly the same as this section here. And then what you will do on top of that is you are gonna surround that with walls as well, and we've got more broadsides both sides, and we've got the wall darts there as well. So on top of that you're going to place 2 more walls, and that's pretty much going to finish that section there for the time being. So if you then get back down to where we placed our sound wall, and on the other side of the sound wall you're going to place another sound wall, and this is to make sure that any propane gets dropped before they start heading up that direction. On the floor underneath you're going to have a floor freeze trap, and then move forward 1 square, you're going to have exactly the same, a floor freeze trap and another sound wall on the right hand side, because some of the husks are going to come over this way. They're going to head towards this one, or they may head towards this one, so just in case they do bypass that one, we've got a second sound wall here as well. Directly in front of you you're going to have an edited wall like this, and then you're going to place a ramp, and on that ramp you are going to place a tar pit. To the right side of this you're going to place a wall light, and directly above that you are going to have a wall launcher, so that's going to fling them back off down here. In front of you then you'll have another edited wall. Make sure they are on the right hand side, because if you do get smashes then you do want them to get flung over the edge. From there move forward again, and you're going to have another tar pit on the floor. You're going to have another wall lights to your right and another wall launcher above that as well. From there move up to the top, you've got another edited wall now in front of you. This is on the right hand side again, and at the very top then you will have a floor launcher and a wall launcher. The perks and everything for these will have been showing up on the screen earlier on. They will have 2 different sort of reset times on them, so they should be going off at different times for you. From here turn and face towards the east, and you're going to move forward, and you're going to have another floor launcher on the floor and a wall launcher, this time on the left hand side of you. It's going to fling them into this box. So if you move in to your right 1 square, and you're going to have a tar pit on the floor, you'll have your edited wall in front of you on the right hand side. To your right will be a broadside, and behind you will be another wall another wall launcher, which is going to be flinging them again then into this box. So if you move forward 1 square, you'll have your tar pit on the floor. You're going to have wall darts on the left and on the right, and you are going to have a broadside directly in front of you. From here, if you then come over to your left 1 square, and on this wall you're going to place a sound wall. Directly in front of you, you will have a wall launcher and another tar pit then on the floor. Now move to your left 1 square. This time we've got retractable floor spikes, because anything that does make it past here, we want to try and get rid of them as much as possible, and especially those mini bosses. So we've got retractable floor spikes on the floor. In front of us is some wall darts, and behind us is some wall darts as well. Move to your left another square, and we've got another retractable floor spike on the floor. We've got another wall darts behind us, and directly in front is our edited wall on the right hand side, like so. From here, now this again is another man-made ramp. So we've got to place a ramp straight in front of us with some wooden floor spikes on top of that. Now on the right hand side of that, you're going to have some more wall lights, and then above it you will have your wall launcher. If you then move up, you're going to have a edited wall on the right hand side here, and a second ramp with a second wooden floor spikes there. And again on the right hand side you will have wall lights, and then another wall launcher above that. At the top of this, you're going to have another edited wall on the right hand side, and then you're going to come out and place a floor piece with a floor launcher and a wall launcher on the right hand side here. In front of you, you're going to have another edited wall to your right hand side there, and then you're going to move forward and place another floor launcher, and this time the wall launcher will be directly in front of you. Now from here, we're going to turn to our right to the south, and just to make sure we've got these ceiling pieces that will stay up properly, we do have a edited archway wall in here, just to give it a little extra strength on the top there. So if you move forward 1 square, you're going to have a tar pit on the floor, and this is pretty much for anything that does make it up here. You're going to have broadsides on the left and on the right, which are going to annihilate them completely. And if anything, there should actually be a trap in there, which there wasn't. So there we go. But we'll go through ceiling ones in a minute. So from here, you are going to come down now and drop down. And behind you, you're going to have a broadside. In front of you, you'll have a broadside, and you're also going to have a broadside then on your right hand side. And if anything, again, there should be a wall in there to bounce them back and forth. To your left, you're going to have your edited wall, like so, and that will cover this section. You've got retractable floor spikes then on the floor to do some additional damage as well. And the reason I keep placing these odd bits in which haven't been is because I've redone this so many times, I've probably just forgotten to place them in. So that is going to pretty much cover the actual tunnels. Now we need to get back over this side. Now this is where our 2 walls are here that we've placed traps on. So we need to come up here. Okay. Now you're going to have, for this section there, as I said, a natural ramp behind here. So you're going to place 2 floor tiles on here. Now you may need to do these sort of before you place in the actual wall ones, actually, because I've got some ceiling electric fields underneath this, just to make sure that anything that goes up there is going to take a load of damage. But we've also got our edited cones then on top of this, surrounded by walls with 2 more ceiling pieces above that, with ceiling electric fields on there. And on these back walls, we do have wall darts as well. Now, behind this is where we get our little boxes, really. And these are all going to be identical. Each one of these are going to be exactly the same going along here. So we've got a edited floor piece, like so. and our edited cone then on the top, which is pointing to the southwest, and surround the walls then with wall darts. You don't need to do the back one because they would have, if they get this far, they've already broken that wall, so there's no point having a trap on the back of it. So surround these 3 walls with your wall darts, and that will sort them out. And to the right of it, that is exactly the same. You have your edited floor, edited cone, and 3 wall darts on the walls there. So from this one over here, now they don't tend to break this one, so I didn't put traps in on this one, but we do have a edited floor there. This time we've got a backward ramp which is facing towards the west, and we've got these walls there already anyway. So to your right, this one again is going to be pretty much same as that, but we've got a backward ramp on this one instead of an edited cone, and we have our wall lights surrounding that as well. To your right again, this one is the same as this one on the end there, because they don't tend to go for this one too much. So we've just got your edited floor, your backward ramp, and surrounded by walls. No need to put any traps on these ones at all. And that's going to fetch you to your amplifier. So the only thing that we've got left is our ceiling pieces. So at the very back of the amplifier, I'm going to place a wall, and then on top of that you're going to place a floor, and then another wall, and then we get up onto our ceiling pieces. So from here you're going to place 2 floor pieces going this way, move to your right 1 square, and you're going to place 3 going this way. Now you can miss this one out, you don't need to worry about that one. So if you move forward here and then to your right 1 square, and you are going to place another 3 going down here as well, and that will cover the section here over all of these traps. Now to your right, because we've got wall launchers and floor launchers down here, we've got 2 edited pyramids here, or backward stairs, whichever you prefer, just to make sure that we are flinging things over this direction from there. So that is going to cover them bits. Now we've covered all of this. The only thing you need to do up here is just to place in ceiling electric fields in these tiles. Again, this is mainly just for the mini bosses. You don't have to, if you're happy to do any shooting on that last final wave, then you can save on the traps here. It is pretty much only the mini bosses that will ever really get any damage from these, but that will cover that. Now then, for the last final bit that we have, now you've already placed all of these structures over here, and this is just here just so we know where you stopped when you did that build. So from that edge you will be following it on, and you're just going to place in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 tiles on this row. And then once you've done that, come back to the start bit, move to your right, and you are going to place 5 tiles along. Move to your right again, and this time you're going to have 4 tiles going along, and then to your right again will be another 4 tiles. Now that will fetch you up to this wall which we've already got in place. So from here, if you then move forward 1 square and then move to your right 1 square, now you're going to place this square down, and you're going to place this square and this square, which may not already be in. And at this point you're going to put in another edited pyramid here, or your backward stairs, whichever you prefer, and then another one on top of that as well. Now on the sides, it is a good idea to fill, especially this side, because sometimes they can get flung up here and they can get bounced onto this wall. So we don't want them to land here, otherwise they're just going to walk straight across to the amplifier. So just block this in with a edited wall as a corner piece there, and another full wall then next to it there. and that will cover that section as well. So that's all the ceiling pieces. So the only thing that's left to do now is place your traps on them, and these should be pretty easy, because from this point, this one that we've got placed in, you're going to place in 1, 2, 3, 4, you might have to go around the other side of this, and 5 ceiling drop traps, and that will finish that side. You don't need to do those last ones, that's fine. Once you've done this row, move to your left, make sure you don't fall down a mountain, and on this row here, you are then going to place 1, 2 ceiling drop traps, and then followed by 2 ceiling electric fields up there as well. From this one, you're going to place 2 ceiling drop traps, 1 there and 1 there, and that is going to fill that section. Behind there, you do have another 2 ceiling electric fields as well, because you don't tend to need so much the drop traps under there, because they don't tend to get used that much. It's mainly, again, in later waves. So once you get up to the top here, all of that's filled in, all of that's filled in. You don't need to fill that side in, because it doesn't matter so much if they get flung over there. They're just going to take longer to walk back. All of the rest of the ceiling pieces around here are going to have ceiling electric fields on them, so that will fetch you all the way round to your your ramp that you built here. Carry on all the way up here, and when you get to the very top of the flat pieces here, then you're going to have 3 ceiling electric fields along this bit as well, and yeah, that will fill it all in. We kind of done the rest of the electric fields then from our first piece earlier. So that is pretty much it, and there's no other sort of attack from this side that you're going to get hit on. So there's nowhere else that you need to defend it from. It is literally just from the west, and it will do it, as I said, it will do it really well. The only waves that it tends to get attacked more on by those mini bosses is sometimes wave 29, but definitely wave 30 as well. And if you have done everything exactly the same as me, as you just saw on the screen there, you should have around about 30 structures left to place, and that is including our big massive tower here, which, I mean, I've no idea how many structures that actually takes to do that one, but you've got to be around about 50, 60, 70 structures, something like that. So you could, if you don't have your recycle tower, which isn't necessary, then you probably will have around about 100 structures left. But there we go. That is our build for our West amplifier, which is my E amplifier. The last final video in this series is going to be going on our build for the recycle tower there. But I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to hit that like down below, smash subscribe, turn on the notification bell. You'll always get updated of my content. You can always check out the link in the description down below for the playlist for all of the other builds that I've got. And don't forget, if you do find them useful, please consider using code RiverFox. It will help me a great deal. And you can follow me on Twitter and Discord, and I do stream quite regularly now over on Twitch as well. All the links in the description. But until the next time, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.